me, Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor BS Busters. I'm joined by the usual suspect. Sir, introduce yourself.
Oh, Scrunchy about Nito. Glad to be here on another one of BS Busters.
That's good. Good. Glad to have you here. It's me, Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor BS Busters, and look, we're gonna be talking about some. We're gonna be talking about some old bullshit, as per usual. There's always bullshit. No matter where you go, what you do, there's always going to be bullshit in gaming. It's a never-ending cycle. So without much ado, here let me just give you a brief overview of the topics we're going to be covering. Lucasfilm declares creative bankruptcy with AI-generated Star Wars content. Um, that's mostly just 2 minutes of normal animals jumbled together, which just proves AI is bullshit.
Yeah, it's not what people thought it was going to be.
Also, stop calling it AI. It's basically it's a generator. It's a content it's a content generator, but it's not really a generator. It's a content aggregator. You give it it's a program that you give it a series of values, and then it does its best to fulfill those particular parameters with already made content. That's not artificial intelligence.
Yeah,
Anyway, Um, we're also going to cover a false alarm. Valve confirmed that apparently no one hacked into over 89 million Steam users' accounts, which is great. Lord Gaben for the win. And that's why I trust Valve more than other digital storefronts. Looking at you, Epic.
yeah.
Ubisoft, uh, you know, you guys may remember Riders Republic. It was kind of a fun little extreme sports game where you could have like biking, skydiving, skiing, snowboarding, um, and it was a nice little game. It was kind of like heavily. It was more realistic. It was more of a sim than arcade, but the people who liked it liked it. Well,
Yeah.
Ubisoft, instead of making that into a new Riders Republic video game, decided to make they're partnering with someone to make a fucking movie about it. We'll go cover that story, and then we've got ex Dragon Age writer says Baldur's Gate 3 and Claire Obscure Expedition 33 prove publishers wrong on how successful RPGs can be when the game is good and when it's given enough time to cook. And we have two lists of best games ever. One about the fourth and fifth gen, and one about just last year. That we'll go over that list and determine if, in fact, those games are really that good. But let's do the AI first. So yeah, Lucas Arts, which used to be Lucasfilm, which used to be like one of the premier studios for creating new shit, have proven that they really don't have a lot of their creative chops have are woefully lacking. At a Lucas, the senior vice president of creative innovation at Lucasfilm, Rob Bridell, got on a TED stage in April to share a vision of what he called a new era of technology. And it's a 2 minute video of AI generated of blue lions and chimpanzees with zebra stripes, not to mention the ungodly outcome of a snail and peacock interbreeding. Um, this is some. It's lazy. It's fucking lazy. There's a little slideshow of some of the images. There's 5 images. One of a snail and a peacock. One of a bear and a tiger, a crocodile crossed with a fucking a crocodile crossed with a damn turtle, uh, a blue antelope creature of some type. I mean, really, the most creative thing they have here is a monkey crossed with a meerkat.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Looks a little lazy, and they did this on the TED Talk, which, like, if you give a TED Talk, that's like some hardcore, cutting edge, bleeding edge, you know. That's some serious stuff right there. That
Yeah.
is like, you give a TED talk, that means that's like, oh man, this person is a foremost master of et cetera, and they're giving a talk about it. Like the guy who does those, the guy named Zay Frank, like now he gives like educational shit, educational talks about technology and animals and shit like that. That guy gave a TED talk. All right,
Yeah.
Zay Frank. you know, like, he's like interesting facts about this. And he sounds kind of like Morgan Freeman, you know. It's like this is interesting facts about Morgan Freeman. Some really hilarious shit. And now we went from that to some total and complete bullshit cuz, and I mean, I know people want AI to be such a thing. They want AI to be like, people desperately want AI to be a thing. There's a bill in Congress where they want to make it so that states can't regulate artificial intelligence for 10 years. And I'm like, yes, artificial intelligence needs to be regulated.
Yeah.
Any
For,
new,
for, ex- for example, music that's used with AI shouldn't be copywritten.
yeah,
Like people shouldn't make money off of that.
because the AI itself is generative. You're literally.
And especially when it comes to copywritten stuff, it should be regulated.
Well, the thing is,
Not only
AI
cheating, but also stealing.
AI isn't creating something new. It's taking other people's shit and you know,
Yeah.
you're taking people's shit and using it to create new shit. You're not actually creating something new yourself. That's where I'm
Yeah.
kind of like, people are like, oh man, yeah, I'm like, that's it's like you don't understand it. Like, if I use Chat GPT or some other AI, for lack of a better word, AI program, and I say, okay, write me a recipe that has cucumbers. Write me a zucchini bread recipe. It's not creating a new recipe. It's literally going on the internet and parsing like all the data of for zucchini bread and finding the most common ingredients, the most commonly written recipes, and then smashing that together to create like a basic what basically fulfills those parameters of my search. It's a search engine.
Yeah.
Nothing really, but that doesn't mean the shit shouldn't be regulated. It should all be regulated because people are using this search engine to do shit like make AI songs, make AI videos.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my own personal opinion. Do you have anything else to say before we move on to the next topic?
No.
All right. So, next topic. Um, Apparently, people thought last week that Steam had been hacked, 89 million users. Uh, you know, apparently there was not. So there you go. So there you go, folks.
Yeah,
Valve still holding it down.
yeah. Why they think it was hacked?
Because someone basically went on LinkedIn and said, "Oh, we hacked their shit," but it was like, "Okay, do you have evidence of this?" And they basically had a little bit of information, but then we're like, "Yeah, we did it," and it turns out that that wasn't really the case. It was bullshit, like so
Oh,
many things. I mean, there's a lot of bullshit. You know, it's a lot of you know. I mean, to be fair, you should be constantly you should be changing your password once. Technically speaking, I'd say once a month. Um, maybe once. Longest you should go is once every 3 months. You shouldn't have the same password for your shit from year to year to year. Either that or just have a physical key, a physical USB key for your shit, which is I mean, my other PC, I do that. Like, I have a physical USB key, that crypto key, that basically like I plug in order to get into access to my shit. If that's not on the, if that is not like attached to my computer, you can't get anything. You can't get into that computer. But once it is, you can basically just get into everything. So that's what I do on my other computer, not this one, but my other one. Cause I be like that sometimes.
yeah,
Anyway, that's my opinion. That's what I'm sticking to. Anything else you want to add before we move on to the next topic?
no,
All right. Next topic is Ubisoft, or as I like to call them, UB shit. Ubisoft um, is now. So I'm just going to read this article, and you can give your thoughts at the end of it. The scramble to turn every video game into a movie is now in full swing, and another film has an adaptation has just been announced. This time it's Riders Republic, Ubisoft's 2021 open world extreme sports sandbox. The game didn't have much of a plot beyond competing in biking, skiing, snowboarding, and wingsuiting races and competitions. So if Ubisoft thinks they can turn that into a movie, yeah, I'd probably watch it. Would you watch it? I like seeing people do bike flips and ski jumps and snowboard things. Who doesn't love seeing someone jump off a cliff in a wingsuit? It's rad.
yeah. I used to
Yeah.
like that kind of
Look,
stuff.
my size says it all. I didn't play a ton of Riders Republic, but the Alps are pretty and stunts are fun. So why the heck not shoot a movie combining them? If they can keep the film to a tight 90 minutes, maybe cram in a throwaway plot where a local extreme sports hero has to defeat an evil snowboarding coalition to save a community center, I'm on board. Directing the film, says Ubisoft, are the famous Belgian duo Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah, who I've never heard of, but made films like Bad Boys for Life, didn't see it, and Bad Boys Ride or Die, didn't see it. Bad Boys for Life is pretty good. The pair also
Yeah,
directed 2022's Batgirl, starring Leslie Grace, Brendan Fraser, J.K. Simmons, and Michael Keaton, which I didn't even get a chance to not see because Warner Brothers decided it was more profitable to write the film off as a tax break than release it. Brutal. Writing Writers Republic is screenwriter Noé Debré, who won a Palme d'Or for the French film Dupin. Didn't see it in 2015. The Palme d'Or is basically the French version of the Oscars. The track record for Ubisoft film adaptations is mixed, I guess you'd say. At one end of the scale is Uwe Boll's notoriously stinky Far Cry film from 2008. In the so-so region, you've got some bland attempts at adaptations like Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, and 2016's Assassin's Creed. I disagree, sir. 2016's Assassin's Creed was a piece of shit. The best, I think, is horror comedy Werewolves Within, based on the social deduction VR game published by Ubisoft. Ubi has a bunch more movies and TV shows based on its properties in the works, including Splinter Cell, that could work. The Division, no. Ghost Recon, no. Watch Dogs, maybe. Beyond Good and Evil, if it was animated. There's even a Skull and Bones TV show in development, or at least there was. It was announced before the actual game came out to a less than enthusiastic reception. So basically, like I said, instead of making a game about extreme stunts, they're making a movie. That no one's asking for. Like, no one was like, you know what? I want to watch a movie about extreme stunting. Not to mention, they already made a movie about extreme stunts. I'm gonna look it up. Let's see, 80s movie with safe ski lodge plot. Ski Patrol. Yeah. Yeah. And it was made in 1990. It was made by the people who made Police Academy. So, you know, that's fairly, you know. So yeah, if they made the shit like that, I'd be like, oh yeah, I totally watch that. A lovable group of scamps saving the lodge, the ski lodge. From the land developer who wants to buy it and turn it into condos. I've just wrote the entire plot. Was that fair?
Maybe.
All right. So with I mean,
that's typically how it's going.
that sounds better than the shit they're making. Hey, let's watch people biking, snowboarding, skiing, and all that. It's like I could just watch the Winter Olympics. Why the fuck would I want to? This is stupid. I'm sorry. This is. This is why people don't. This is why people look at Ubisoft and like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
This is why people do this. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I mean, if you're Ubisoft, wouldn't the first thing you do be the first thing you would do would be a Splinter Cell movie?
No, that makes too much sense. Can't do that.
Because I mean, like Michael Ironside is still alive. He can do the voice work because just make it animated, make it like CGI. Like, so it would be like the game. Have Sam Fisher like running around doing stealth shit, shooting people, and it would work. Like, why the fuck? Like, why are you making this complicated? Why? Why? Why, you fuckers? Why? Okay, enough about that.
I have no idea why. I have no idea why they do that.
It's like, why? How did you fuck up something so simple? It's like someone saying, I want you to order a pizza. Okay, cool. And I want pepperoni, sausage, and mushroom. Great. And then, like, I will be home by 6 o'clock. You get home by 6 o'clock. Not only did they not order pizza, they ordered the opposite of pizza. Like, they ordered, um, like fucking Mexican food, sushi. They ordered sushi. Like, I wanted pizza. I gave you money for pizza. And you ordered sushi. Why the fuck did you order sushi instead of pizza? It's like, oh, well, whatever. It's like, I hate you so much. That's Ubisoft. Can't get simple down. Anyway, let's keep it moving. We're moving. We're moving. Ex Dragon Age writer says Baldur's Gate 3 and Claire Obscure Expedition 33 prove publishers wrong on how successful RPGs can be when the game is good and what's possible when a game is given time to cook. Now, having played Claire Obscure Expedition 33 and read the thing about the general premise, it's basically Logan's Run, the video game. Because in Logan's Run, like once you hit like the age of 30, you have to go die. Like people come and kill your
Oh,
ass once you hit the age of 30. Yeah.
oh, interesting.
Yeah. So basically, Claire Obscure, it's like, oh man, you better hey, hey, you're getting close to 33. Now you gotta go die. I mean that's basically I was like, oh, this is Logan's Run, the video game.
That's hilarious. Well, they were inspired by a whole bunch of hodgepodge of different things.
I mean the whole
Like
idea,
the
like everyone's 32, is like, oh man, I can't let
like the studio director gave people what they you know Final Fantasy X and Persona 5 to use as their inspiration. So they're going to make the game. That's why some of the monsters look like they come out of Persona, obviously. But as much as I like this game, as much as I enjoy this game, the biggest problem I think people have is like you had Dragon Age or Dragon not Dragon Age, but Dragon Quest remake, and you also had Metaphor ReFantazio come out, and those games did pretty good in sales. So I guess the issue is not everybody likes that anime art style, so they just kind of
more choice.
yeah.
Yeah, more choice. Look, I'm all for more choice. The more choice you give a game, the better. The more choice gamers have, the better it is. That's the problem with gaming now is that it's just we don't have as much choice as we used to because they're afraid. Everyone is afraid of you know games are so expensive to make that people don't want to make games anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when people are afraid to make video games, this is, games are so expensive that, like the double A and single A market has disappeared. You either have very small games made by indies, maybe like a single A game that's pulled together made by an indie, or you have triple A games or even quadruple A games that are just very expensive to make. And when a game has a budget that's that fucking big, people are afraid. They're afraid they might fuck up. They're afraid the game might bomb.
Yeah.
Forgetting that this shit is a creative endeavor and that creative endeavors are never going to be um it's never going to be as you know while video games are a product, they also are like it's a product that requires a certain level of creativity. So it's not going to be, you can't make the shit like, well, I made this and it's going to be this way right now. It does. That shit doesn't work. But what are you going to do about
Yeah.
it,
Exactly.
But hey, what do I know? I'm just some guy. What the hell do I know about games or making video games aside from playing an ungodly amount of video games? Like an ungodly amount of video games. What the hell do I know?
Yeah.
Anyway, you got any other thoughts before we move on to the next topic?
No. No.
All right, so next topic is 20 best greatest RPGs for the Super Nintendo and the OG PlayStation. So we'll go over this, yay or nay, agree or disagree, and why. Number 20, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. Eye of the Beholder is 16-bit CRPG action at its best. I mean, I've played that game on PC. It's kind of hard. Um, the SNES version is an okay port. I would say it's better to play it on console. I mean on PC. But I mean, if all you had was Super Nintendo, it's a fine port. It's a fine port. Um, it's hard as hell though. It's not an easy game to play. Agree, disagree, don't give a shit.
What game is this?
Advanced Dungeons and Dragons: Eye of the Beholder.
Oh, I've never played that game.
Yeah, I remember playing the port that was done on the Game Boy Advance back in the day, and it is like some people say that port is bad. I actually enjoyed the port, even though it's a completely different game than the SNES game, which is aping the computer game that it's based off of. It's you create a party of adventurers. You go down into the tunnels underneath a city that's always having problems, and you fight your way Baldur's Gate, and you fight your way, ultimately fighting a giant beholder that is invincible to all your attacks. You have to basically force him into a trap, and then pull a lever and smush his ass to death.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's one of those old school RPGs. Parasite Eve, number 19, was Square's answer to Resident Evil. I agree. Square's Parasite Eve is fucking amazing, especially the first one. The first one is like a great RPG.
Yeah.
It's like, god damn. And the sequel wasn't quite as good, but the first one's really good. Plus, you had a female protagonist, which we don't get a lot of these days. We don't get a lot of female protagonists, so I'm always down for female protagonists in video games.
Yeah.
So, I'm always down with female protagonists in video games because we get so few of them. So,
Yeah. Yeah, we don't get a lot of them.
so when we do, I'm like, oh my god, we actually did something. Amazing. Because we don't get them very often. Plus, Parasite Eve is like one of those games that Square Enix made a good Parasite, like one good Parasite Eve. Parasite Eve 2, not quite as good as the first one. And then every other game after the second one has just been some bullshit. It's like, oh, we can't have it be turn based. It's got to be more like Resident Evil. I'm like, whatever. Number 18, Lufia 2 Rise of the Sinistrals. This game is fucking amazing. It's one of the golden age games on the SNES. So, for those of you who don't know, Lufia 2 is a prequel to the original Lufia. And it basically tells about the rise of the Sinistrals and uh, like the opening of the original Lufia, where the heroes defeated the Sinistrals and saved the world and made the Doom Island fall down, all that shit. Well, Lufia 2 is the tale of how those characters wound up on that island fighting the Sinistrals. But since it came out after the original Lufia, which was like an early SNES RPG, graphically it looks better. The combat is tighter. Um, and the major hook of the Lufia games, which is the dungeons. The dungeons are like kind of like if you play those those Tornico monster dungeon games where you do a move, the enemies do a move on the screen, and you basically can like trick monsters into like stepping on switches and falling into traps and shit like that. And it was a great little series that Square Enix bought the IP from Atlas and fucked it up. But man, Lufia was a great series back in the day.
Yeah.
Number 17, Valkyrie Profile. I know a lot of people like this franchise. I've never really been that much into Valkyrie Profile, but I know a lot of people like that. The idea of having like 4 different party members that each one is a separate button, I'm like, I don't really like that, but some people do. But hey, you do you, bro. Yeah. Number 16, Breath of Fire 2. I have nothing to say. Breath of Fire 2 is amazing. I would say Breath of Fire 2, like the first Breath of Fire has a reverse difficulty curve where the first 4 dungeons, while you only have 1 party member or 2 party members, are really hard. And then as you get more party members in the game, it's like, oh, this game is easy. Breath of Fire 2 has a great difficulty curve that just gets better over time. It's got an interesting world. The characters are interesting. The lore is interesting. Your character isn't the chosen one. He's just some random. Well, he's like part of a tribe of the of. He's the descendant of a tribe of dragon people, and but he's not the chosen one. He's just a guy just trying to do whatever, and I like that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number 15, Chrono Cross. Fuck this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck this game. 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 How dare you call this shit one of the greatest RPGs of all time? Fuck you. And fuck whoever wrote this. This is the first time I read this thing. Brandish. Brandish is a dungeon crawler that feels more like it should have been on a PC than a console. But if you can get past the awkward control schemes, it's actually pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's 16-bit. There's Brandish, which came out to the US, and then which was localized to the US. Then there's Brandish 2, The Planet Busters, which is a sequel that stayed Japan only. But both games play very similar to each other, and you basically play the part of this like swordsman who's fighting the apprentice of an evil sorcerer who you defeated. His apprentice isn't evil, but she's angry that you killed her master. And you're fighting, and you get pulled down into this underground caverns where there's an ancient kingdom that fell underground. And basically, you got to fight your way. You got to fight your way out. So it's a dungeon crawl. It's actually pretty good. It's pretty good. Once you have to get past the awkward ass movement, but once you do, it's a pretty good little single player RPG. Number 13, Legend of Dragoon. I never played Legend of Dragoon. I know people say that it's like one of the best RPGs ever made. I am not one of those people who say it's one of the best RPGs ever made. I'm kind of like, it's all right. Meh. You know. My issue with Legend of Dragoon is that the dragons don't look like dragons. They're like, this is a dragon. I'm like, no, not really. I don't know what the fuck that is. It's not a dragon, though.
Yeah.
But a lot of people like it, so, I let them have it. Final Fantasy II, number 12. I have nothing to say except Final Fantasy II, aka Final Fantasy IV. It's the game that basically cemented how great Final Fantasy could be when you had people in charge of it that knew what the fuck they were doing. It's the one that gave us a story arc, a character arc for the characters. It gave us some interesting translation. You spoony bard. It gave us, crystals and chocobos, and it was just amazing. Final Fantasy II was amazing. Final Fantasy II, aka 4, had to walk so that the later games in the series, 5, and 6, could run and fly. So Final Fantasy II, great, love that game. Xenogears, number 11. I know a lot of people like this game. I've never really I know a lot of people like this game, but I'm not into Xenogears. I've tried to play it multiple times. I've downloaded it. I have the game digitally, but I don't like Xenogears.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people do. They're like, Xenogears, it's amazing. I'm like, I'm not feeling it. I know some people are gonna get mad about that, but I have to say that I just don't think it was very good. Know some people are gonna get mad. I don't care. That's my opinion. Number 10, Secret of Mana. I have nothing to say. That's a good game. Number 9, Lunar Silver Star Story. The Lunar series, a lot of people like that game. I felt that the Lunar Silver Star series is just too damn easy. It's like baby's first RPG.
Yeah.
Like the game, like you have no control over who they attack. They literally, like, you can, like, it's basically auto attack for the combat, and I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like not being able to tell my party who to attack and what skills to use. Like you can pause combat and then tell them to use certain skills, but it's like it's very like hands off combat, and I don't like that in games. A lot of people like that. I'm not one of those people. So I don't consider Lunar Silver Star Story to be that good of a game. No, a lot of people like it. I'm not one of them. Number 8, Super Mario RPG. Legend of the Seven Stars. Yes, it's a good game. Yes, it is. Yes, we know this. No one will complain about that game. Yeah. Final Fantasy 9. It's pretty good. Pretty goddamn good. You know. Number 6, Chrono Trigger. Pretty goddamn good. I would put
Yeah.
Chrono Trigger higher. That's just me. Like,
Yeah.
like if you have to put the number one best RPG of the 4th/5th gen, it's between Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI. But that's just me. Number 5, Final Fantasy VII. I mean, I know a lot of people like Final Fantasy VII, but I'm going to tell you right now my unpopular opinion about this game. Final Fantasy VII is a shittier version of Final Fantasy VI. There, I said it. I said it. I said it. You can fight me, bro. I know a lot of people like Final Fantasy VII. I'm just telling you my opinion. It is a shittier version of Final Fantasy VI. Cloud Strife is a shittier version of Terra. Barrett is a shittier version of Edgar. Okay? He's a shittier version of Edgar. Kate Sith is a shittier version of Setzer. Yuffie is a shittier version of Shadow.
Yeah.
Vincent is a shittier version of Gao. There is no real analog for Sabine in Final Fantasy VII. And Sid just kind of there. I don't I don't really. I'm just saying, Final Fantasy VII is overrated as fuck. All right, I said it. I meant it. Number 4, Earthbound. I like Earthbound. I don't put it above Chrono Trigger, but this is this person's list. Number 3,
Yeah.
Suikoden 2. Okay, I agree. Suikoden 2 is good. It's like they took all the good shit in Suikoden and made it better in Suikoden 2. Too bad Konami these days just doesn't want to make a good Suikoden game. Number 2, Final Fantasy 3, aka Final Fantasy 6. Final Fantasy 3 is perhaps the best Final Fantasy ever made. Don't at me. In my opinion, it's better than every other Final Fantasy ever made. It's better than the first 3 on the NES. It's better than Final Fantasy 4 and 5. It's better than Final Fantasy 7. It's damn sure better than Final Fantasy 8. It's better than 9. It's better than 10. It's better than 12. It's better than 13. And all 3 of those other games, all that whole trilogy. It's better than 15. It's better than 16. Final Fantasy 6 is the pinnacle of the Final Fantasy series, and my God, they've never been able to surpass it. So you might ask, what would be this person's number 1 game? What is their number 1 game? Guess. Guess what would be their number 1 RPG?
Final Fantasy 6?
No, Final Fantasy 6 was number 2.
Oh. I have no idea.
Final Fantasy Tactics.
Final Fantasy Tactics?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna disagree because Final Fantasy Six and Final Fantasy One, Final Fantasy Tactics, I don't consider to be a great game. It's okay. I don't consider it to be like, oh my god, this is the best shit ever. I'm not in love with it. Also, these people took graphics. Never mind. Yeah, I'm not into Final Fantasy Tactics. I know a lot of people love that game. I'm not that crazy about it. I'm tired of Ivalice. I was tired of Ivalice at the time. I'm definitely tired of Ivalice now. So, fuck that franchise. Oh, great. So that was that list. We've got one more list to get through, and then we've got unpopular opinion / hot take. I guess I've already given my unpopular opinion. So these are 14 most underappreciated games of last year that shouldn't have been ignored. Number 14, Skin Deep. It's basically Die Hard in space. Yeah. You play a space janitor who has a third lung that lets her breathe in space, who basically has to prevent these people who are taking over the ship from taking it over. And it's kind of interesting. Yeah. Yeah. uh, Number 13, Uncle Chop's Rocket Shop.
That
Uncle Chop's Rocket Shop.
okay.
You basically work on rockets. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Number 12, Locomotive. It's a point and click adventure game.
Yeah.
So, you know. Number 11, Straft Raft. It's a
Never heard of that.
it's a 1v1 deathmatch arena game. Apparently, people have really been enjoying it. It's free on Steam. Its Steam reviews are overwhelmingly positive. Its peak player count is 960, and it's overwhelmingly positive. So the people who've been playing it have been enjoying it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What is it? Like a fighting game or is it a shoot?
it's a 1v1 deathmatch arena.
Deathmatch arena. Okay.
The next one, Penny's Big Breakaway. I've heard about this game. I
I like
heard it's
it.
really good. Yeah, I heard it's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's made by the people, if I remember correctly, who made Sonic Mania.
Yeah.
And then Sega basically forced them to release the next Sonic game too early, and it was a piece of shit. So they were like, "Fuck you, we'll make our own game." And they made Penny's Big Breakaway, which is actually really good. I should get that. It's like $15 on Steam. I should get that. Next game, Solium Infernum. It's a strategy game. Yeah.
I've never heard of it. Sorry.
It's a
Yeah,
strategy
let's
game
say
where
better.
basically shit has gone bad. It's got like magic and technology combined. A lot of cool shit going on. Anyway, yeah, that came out last year. Next game, Mech Warriors 5 Clans. Clans. For those of you who don't know, Mech Warrior is a sub-series for the BattleTech series where you pilot giant mechs that are like piloting bombers, where you need a crew to pilot the damn things. They move very slowly, and you shoot motherfuckers and blow people the fuck up while piloting said giant mech. Enough said. There you go. Next, we have Xenotilt. It's a pinball game, kind of like in the vein of Devil's Crush or Alien Crush on the TurboGrafx 16 back in the day. Well, this is like that, but for modern ages. So looks good. I probably will get that. It's $20 on Steam. Yeah. Next game, Anton Blast. So, for those of you who don't know, Anton Blast is basically Wario Land. Not that bullshit WarioWare minigame bullshit Nintendo's been doing for years, like a legit Wario Land game. And the character is basically Wario, except he goes to hell because the devil owes him money, and he's going to get it by hook or crook.
Yeah, that's fun.
So yeah, man. Anton Blast. Next, the Thaumaturge. It's a RPG where you basically collect demons Persona style to fight for you. And it's pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I heard it was good. It's a little short though. It's only like a 15-20 hour game. For me with RPGs, I need long, meaty RPGs because if I'm going to plunk down $50, $60, $70, I want a lot of content. My rule of thumb, if you give me a $60 RPG, it needs to be at least 60 hours for me to beat that shit. And that's rushing. That's me not doing the side quests. So with side quests, 80 plus. Next, we have Still Wakes the Deep. It's a Chinese room game, so first-person horror adventure set aboard a cheaply run Scottish mining rig in the 80s that has fallen afoul of something lurking deep beneath the waves. So, if you like games that are kind of, oh, that's fucked up, this is horrific, there you go. If you like that type of shit. I'm kind of like, I can go either way. Next game, Dungeons of Hinterberg. It's like The Legend of Zelda, but well, no, it's basically like The Legend of Zelda. Yeah.
I think I've heard of that game.
Yeah, Dungeons of Hinterberg is like The Legend of Zelda. You basically go around, doing dungeons in this modern locale place. But then you go to a touristy town to decompress, then go back again. But it's basically like a 3D Legend of Zelda game. Yeah. But without the weapon degradation, bitches. Yeah. Next, we have Drova Forsaken Ken. If I remember correctly, this game is it's an action RPG inspired by Celtic myth, where you play as a hapless villager lost in the mythical realm of the gods. However, you're not the only person to fall into this magical and hostile place, and nobody's doing particularly well. In fact, without a lot of practice and preparation, most people can and will kick your ass, take your lunch money, and laugh. Still, the combat is faster and more responsive than even the much-delayed Gothic 1 remake, making it more accessible than its inspirations, if not any easier. Yeah, I heard it was kind of interesting. Kind of like, oh shit, this is kind of hardcore right here. And the last game is 1000 Cross Resist. It looks like you're playing an anime. Apparently, it's a high concept sci-fi game about strange creatures from beyond and what humanity might look like after millennia of cultural and linguistic drift. But it's also about the anxieties and personality flaws of teenagers living under the pressure of their family and society's expectations. So it's basically Japan.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sounds
That's
like
Japan
Japan.
right now. Yeah. But anyway, so with that being said, now that we've done that, it's on to free topics, aka unpopular opinion. Are there any topics that you would like to bring up that you feel that people haven't really been talking about, that have been kind of left by the wayside? That you're like, why aren't more people talking about this shit?
Eh, not really. I'm just sick of all the negativity. That's all. That's about it. I don't watch a lot of gaming channels anymore because I'm just kind of like, man, I'm just sick of all this negativity. But that's about it.
All right, here's my unpopular opinion. Well, maybe not so unpopular. Pokemon has sucked for years, and um, if you guys can, if gamers, if Pokemon fans continue to buy this bullshit and not like, there needs to be one generation of Pokemon that just bombs spectacularly, just bombs the fuck out, and then maybe the Pokemon Company and Nintendo will learn their lesson and start doing real changes to the franchise. That's it. That's my unpopular opinion.
Oh, yes, well, another unpopular opinion is people are complaining about the lawsuit in Japan, and it's again people don't really understand. People don't really understand, you know, other countries' laws because apparently the same thing that Nintendo's doing over there is something Sega and Sony have done in the past. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying,
They've done for
like,
years.
yeah, it's been done. People have been using the particular law that Nintendo is using for their lawsuit for years. Yeah,
Yeah, but you have to. I mean, that is true. But the thing is like they are. What they're doing is that they're it's stifling creativity and innovation because they have the
yeah,
money to do it.
yeah. That's one of the things I hate about the tech world. It's like I feel like I'm not saying you shouldn't have be entitled to your patents, but sometimes I think people go too hard in such a way where it does stifle creativity
I
and
mean,
does
but
slow down innovation.
but to be fair, to be fair, like like Nintendo basically they basically patented throwing a ball at something and catching it mechanic, which is kind of like that bullshit that the Zafty brother did back in the day. Remember like a few years ago, those guys who wanted to fucking they wanted to fucking copyright the word react
Yeah, I
for
saw that.
reaction.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
basically what they're. I'm like, this is and Japan okayed it. I was like, yeah, this is fine. I'm like, no, fucking
yeah.
no. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. That's pretty BS for sure. And Japan is really weird about copyright.
Yeah, yeah. Like
It,
if you like, okay, if you have a video game barcade in Japan and you have arcade machines, you're fine. But if you have old consoles hooked up, you basically can get sued out of business by the companies who own those consoles in Japan.
that's crazy.
Yeah, Japan. I'm like, that's some fucked up laws right there. I'm sorry, that is no, that is not okay. That is some bullshit. in all capital letters. That is some total and complete bullshit. And I know some people are going to get mad. They're going to be like, how could you say that about Final? How could you say that about Nintendo? I'm like, because it's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm turning to Darth Vader. Search your feelings. You know it to be true. But that's my own personal opinion, and I could be wrong. But yeah, man, yeah, they're up there just suing the shit out of people, left, right, and center. It's like, oh, you did this. I'm like, look, okay, your games are trash. Pokemon has been stagnant for years. Okay, it's one step forward, two steps back.
Yeah.
The last innovative Pokemon game that y'all made was Pokemon X and Y. So at this point, I'm just tired. I'm just tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired and I don't care anymore. Anyway, but that's my opinion. That's how I feel. Um, People can agree or disagree. That's how I feel. Anyway, um, anything else you want to add before we?
Yeah.
All right. Anything you want to pimp out before we wrap things up?
Yeah, I released a new song on Project Open Check it out when you get a chance. It's called Maiden of the Moon.
Pardon me.
The song, it's called Maiden of the Moon.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the end of the video. If you would like to get in contact with the channel, you can reach me in the description. We have a Discord called the BS Buster Discord. There also is a Gmail linked to the channel, mrredfoxbsbuster@gmail.com. Stay tuned next week, which will be the week of Memorial Day. Memorial Day is the 26th. For those of you who had family family in the military that have passed on, our condolences. That's the end of the cast. Rate, comment, share, subscribe, play your games. Peace.